Is Nikki ready to date? Is it time for Brie to pick up those girls? And a new storyline comes together for Summerslam for the twins. All that and more on Total Bella's After Show, Bella's in the City, Season 4, Episode 2, all on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
My goodies, my goodies, my goodies, not my goodies.
I got a sick reputation for having
What's up,
bras.
folks?
All I need is me a
They was trying to give away Nikki's goodies all this episode. My name is TK Trinidad, and Monique is out doing some business stuff, allegedly. But we have a new edition, or an old edition / new edition, back in the mix again. Miss Leslie.
Hey, I'm
back
so
in the
excited to
mix?
be back. Yes.
So, how did you enjoy this whole episode?
I think it was interesting. I love the fact that we got to see behind the scenes in SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
It's always cool to watch it as a fan, but I love to watch the behind the scenes part and
Like
the
the behind the
emotional
scenes,
and
yeah.
and what really happens going into their matches.
Yeah, I love that when they were doing the faces between Birdie and Brian.
Brian.
That
Yeah,
was
that was
kinda,
great.
Kind of cute. So kind of let's get into it. So Nikki, she's 35. She's allegedly broken up with John because we really don't know.
Who knows?
And you know, people are saying her clock is ticking. She says that she's just taking it one day at a time, but her clock is ticking. So do you feel like people should be pushing her into this whole relationship?
No,
thing?
I feel like people were used to seeing her with John Cena, and I don't feel like she was being pressured as much now that she's single. And even when she was with John Cena, I feel like it was just more her, not the people around her. I don't know if you
No, but
disagree.
remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was Total Bellas or Total Divas, where they essentially told John to break up with her.
Oh, yeah,
because
you're right.
He didn't want a family,
Yeah.
and this is what she wants.
But I feel like there was more pressure now that Brie became a mom and did everything. And because they do everything together, it's kind of like, all right, now you need to hurry up and do it because Brie's already ahead of you. Which I don't think is fair.
Well, I don't know. I think that's like two different issues. I think Nikki always wanted to have kids.
Right.
And obviously, that was the whole big thing between her and John. So she was pressuring John, or, she first said she didn't want the relationship, or she didn't want the marriage. Now she wanted the marriage, all this
Right.
other stuff. And you have that coming from the relationship side of things. Now that she's not with John, it's just like, well, you can't have a baby by yourself.
Correct.
So...
Well, you can. You
You
technically
can.
don't need a man anymore.
Right, but I think, the family's still fairly
Right.
traditional.
Yeah.
Like, both her siblings are married with kids. So maybe it's just more of they just want her to start the process again.
Yeah, but I feel like they don't understand the fact that she was in like a 6-year relationship. It was, even though she wasn't married,
Yeah.
it was like she was married. They were moved in and they shared a lot with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair for them to be pressuring her so much. Yeah, she is older, but anyone can have a kid nowadays. She has money, so she can find other ways to
See,
do it.
here's the thing. So, anybody can have a kid, and I hope that they both, Nikki, she hasn't, explore that option, I guess, as far as
Right.
freezing eggs and all this
Yeah.
other thing. However, like I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It's like you wait till you think you're ready to have kids. You wait for the perfect husband or wife or whatever, and you have these kids, and you're older. Now you're doing your kids and your grandkids a disservice. Because if you have a kid when you're 50, a la
Yeah.
Janet Jackson, we haven't, like, the oldest man, I think, was like 113. He died in Japan, like, the other day. Like,
Yeah.
we haven't surpassed
Right.
110, and not a lot of us are getting to that point. And on top of that, how mobile are you anyway? So
Yeah.
it's just like, not saying that you should have kids. You could have kids whenever you want,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like you have to take that into
Consideration. Yeah.
Because you have it when you're 40 or 50. It's like, yeah, now you can afford to give your children all that you want, but then it's like, do you actually get to enjoy that process with your child? Will you be able to walk your child down the aisle
Right.
if they wait until they're 40 or 50?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I get it, but it's also, I don't, even for the richest people, I don't think you're ever ready to have kids.
That's true. Also, it depends on perspective. I think when she's talking to Naya, for example, she understands because Naya is older as well. And she's like, well, do you want to have kids? So from the business perspective and the wrestler perspective, they understand why they wait to have kids.
Right.
But then also from like the family, they don't, because it's like everyone's doing it around them. So that's why they're pressuring her to do it.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Well, the thing too with Yeah, the thing with WWE, it's like, to me, it's like they either like you or you don't,
Right.
or they don't. So you could have kids 2 years into your career, you can have kids 10 years into your career. It really just depends if they like you. If you look at Rosa Mendez, she came, Maurice too. Like Rosa, when she came back, she was doing stuff behind the scenes. She decided to walk away.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, and then some people have kids and you don't see them anymore. And I think that's more on that has nothing to do with you having kids. That's more of if you're where you are in the pecking order. If you're on the bottom of the totem pole, then whenever you decide to have kids, that was just an easier way for WWE to say, oh yeah, well, it was nice having you.
Yeah.
Enjoy the memories.
I know in wrestling, we see more of the males, like, having children, and then because they can easily leave. And they have their wife to take care of the kids.
Right.
There are so many wrestlers that do that.
Yeah.
Then we rarely see women wrestlers do it. That's why they don't have an example or really much to go to, because the women who have had babies are already retired. Or they left or come back. For example, like Trish Stratus.
Yeah, but from my understanding, Trish left because she was ready to leave.
Yeah.
So, like, the family and stuff came a little bit later after that. So, like, she didn't leave and then just have a kid. So, I mean, yeah, you know, there isn't an example. But, again, I feel like if you're in that pecking order, that might be.
And I don't think the Bellas are ready yet to leave. I feel like they're still half and half.
They're still half and half, but they're still, like, when's the last time we saw the Bellas?
That's true.
We haven't seen them since Evolution, maybe a little bit after that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in a really good position
Yeah.
to, like, even if they don't, like, Trish went back in the ring, 10 years later, something like that?
Yeah.
So as long as you stay in shape, you're in the position to go and come as you please because they're the Bellas. So
That's true. They are the Bellas.
So I don't know. So how did you think Andre do you think Andre was a good fit, 23-year-old model from Brazil?
Not for Nikki. I mean, he's around my age. Why not? Just kidding.
I mean, she could be a cougar.
She's
But then he might not be ready.
Over 10 years older than her. Mm-hmm. I mean, age is but a number now.
Right.
Nobody really takes that into consideration, but for Nikki, she
Well,
does.
I mean, Andre didn't even seem like he was even ready to.
And from
dabble
her
in.
standards and from her talking to Naya, you could tell she's like, I want to date a businessman or someone who's like up here, you know.
Yeah, she doesn't want to.
Someone with a platform.
I don't know if it's platform, but I think even if she is not, it's. I think even if she might not be that type of person where it's like, oh, if you pay for my meal, like, no biggie. I think it's more of you both are on the same level to live the lifestyle that you're accustomed to.
Right.
So if she wants to travel to wherever, like,
Paris,
and she
she goes there
she
a
can
lot.
get up and go to Paris, but he has to save for 6 months. It's probably
Right.
not a.
Well, and she's been used to having a lot of nice things. I mean, she was dating John Cena.
Yeah, but she's also paying for those, and she has her businesses and stuff
That's
like
true.
that. So I think she just needs somebody at least her equal that affords his lifestyle at least.
Right.
I mean, if he could afford hers, and that's great. But she doesn't strike me as. I think people just assume that John bought her everything, but she
Yeah.
doesn't strike me as that person. She'll accept gifts, but then she can also go out and buy her own
Right.
stuff or
Yeah.
get it for free. Cause that's
Well,
just
and
what
she
happens.
showed that in the show too, that she's able to buy whatever she wants, but at the same time, she was receiving those nice gifts
Well,
from him,
yeah.
and I would take him too. Why not?
I like free gifts. Free gifts are great.
Same.
So Brie and her boob situation. I do like that I learned that you can take fat and then put it in your boob to create a bigger mound.
I think she really liked that idea because she was talking about how natural she is.
Yeah.
And how she would prefer like a natural way, which I guess
Yeah,
in
I
that
think
way
that's new technology. I've never heard of that procedure before.
I don't know.
I think it's
I've
new.
never gotten.
Yeah, I went in
anything but-
for, believe it or not, I was a A at one point in my life, and I went in, and when I was working for radio, we had a discount for
Plastic
surgery. So I went in, and I was like, I want to get a boob job. So he's explaining to me, and I just really wanted, like, a C-D-isk. And the guy's like, look, if you go in, you're wasting your money to get a C. Like, you might as well get, like, D's because you have to, if you're going to go in and go under all that stuff, you might as well see the difference between the two.
I mean, I understand where she's coming from. Her body changed a lot.
Yeah, sagging boobies is never good.
Yeah, and even before she was pregnant, one, she lost her abs. 2, her boobs are like a big part. Not
She
only
had lost her abs. You still look good, Brie.
no, you do, but
Flat
she.
stomach. People are working hard to just get a flat stomach. Just
Yes.
saying.
No, I understand. But I'm just
Hard
saying,
work,
like,
man.
she was really sad about that when she was pregnant.
Right.
Because that's one of the things that she was scared to lose.
Yeah.
Which obviously she did, but now she looks great. But if you look at Nikki and if you look at Brie, Nikki always shows her boobs off, which
Well,
makes
she
sense.
bought them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't your twin sister want the same thing? Because they, like we said, even though they're different people, they are very similar in those type of things.
They are, but their personalities their personalities still seem different enough where, Nikki, even minus the guys, Nikki always seems that person that, she's a little bit more,
Edgy.
I don't know if the right word's edgy, but she just likes the fancier things. And Brie
Yeah.
is just like, I'm just happy to be alive and doing what I'm doing. So,
Right.
And that thing too, when you have smaller boobs, you don't have to wear a bra. And that is key. That is clutch. Because bras
Well, like
are
she said,
terrible.
she doesn't like bras.
I
That's
don't like
why.
bras either. Bras are just terrible, terrible contraptions.
But if you listen to what Daniel Bryan said, he's like, you're becoming more like Nicole.
I think he
and-
said that to dissuade her from getting the boobs.
Yeah, and that's when she was like, all right, I'm taking these off.
Yeah, I think he just said that to dissuade.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that he's like, well, I really can't tell you what to
Yeah.
do. At least he acknowledged that. But I think he knows in his heart of hearts she probably wouldn't.
Or
do
she'll
that.
make the right decision.
Yeah, I do like that fat concoction.
I love the fact that he can say, I don't want you to do it, but I'm still going to support you on whatever you want to do. Because not a lot of men are like that.
Oh boy, now you're throwing the men under the bus.
It's true.
I mean, all the men in the world. We're in a new era now.
Exactly.
I think
Women control what they want now.
now she's saying women control everything.
Women empowerment. That's what WWE is all about.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I would say that, it's just like, you're always going to see the negative stuff on TV and in the news
That's
and all
true.
sorts of stuff. So I'm willing to hope and believe that the ones that we don't see, there are positive men out there. There are men that were raised by families that, they were able to see the difference. And you see men and women evolve equally.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm willing to hope that men also have that understanding.
Follow Daniel Bryan's footsteps.
Follow Daniel Bryan's footsteps. Just
Yes.
Same.
Use him as an example. He's a great father and husband.
Now, what was interesting is that she did say that, or also in the doctor's appointment, and Daniel also brought it up, is that they do want to have a second child.
Right.
And we haven't seen her since Evolution.
That's true.
So,
That's a great prediction.
I mean, you might as well bang it out now.
True.
But he hasn't. He's been
wrestling.
He's been wrestling.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he does as many live events.
I don't think so.
That would be.
But I'm
interesting.
pretty sure it's in the works right now.
Hopefully they're putting
know.
it in the works. You have something to tell our AfterBuzzers?
Yes, I do. Hey guys, before we move on to our next topic, we just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Thank you to our loyal fans who are always on the chat. And then being part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Facts. So for you guys who don't know, this is going to be our official day and time. I probably should have said that in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to be here every Monday at 6 o'clock. I know some of you guys were, last week, you were happy that we were coming on right off the show on Sundays. But, Sundays, unfortunately, is like super busy days, so we were able to do it on Mondays. So this is our official time and date. Shout out to the people who are currently in the chat. So Evangelina, I'm sorry, you know who I'm talking about. She said, yes, people do the same thing for their butt. So they gather fat from their thighs and whatever, and then put the extra in their butt. Huh.
Would you consider that?
This butt craze it's weird to me because that's probably why their thighs look different. Because I've always said that I could tell a woman who had butt implants and stuff like that because the thigh to butt difference is always, her thigh is like really small. And if you typically, if you have a really big butt and it's natural, your thighs would be like, it looks like a natural
Like
progression.
it works together.
Yeah, it looks like, okay, in order to stabilize this big butt, you need thighs. So maybe that could be why their thighs look smaller because they pull the fat from the thighs.
So if you were Brie, and if after your second baby, would you do that?
Oh, I'm all about that. Like, I remember, this is so terrible. I used to personal train this lady, and I was going to go and get my payment. So I like walked into the back of the thing, and she came up, and her boobs were like down to her knees. And I'm like, mind you, she did have, I think she had 3 kids, and then she also lost, I think, like 110 pounds.
Oh, wow.
But it was just kind of like, it was a lie. It was traumatizing. But I think I would do, after my last kid, I would do like I think they call it the mommy makeovers.
Yeah.
Just,
I've seen that.
yeah, just right after the baby, just clear some stuff out. So you're just healing. It's all one big pain for 6 months and then 18 years plus some. So
Plus some.
Well, I mean, kids don't move out.
You're always a mom for life anyways.
Yeah, but it's not like back in the days where the kids are like, I'm out. Like, I was out of my house. I ran away from home when I was 17. Like, I was deuces. Like, I'm going to do this. My brother was home until he was 28.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. But it's just like the society.
Hey, everyone's different.
Well, I mean, I'm sure kids would want to leave the home early, but they can't because they can't. Like, let's not even.
Yeah,
go into this
that's a whole other topic.
Whole tangent. So the good and bad thing is, like, I love that they're showing new things. Like, we're seeing the behind the scenes with the boobs and the dating and stuff. But we're also seeing the SummerSlam stuff, which already passed. But what did you think of the storyline with the Bellas and Ronda Rousey?
I thought it was interesting to put 2 big names together. Obviously it works.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't feel like it fit together because the Bellas aren't there for them to just automatically jump in and then make it seem like, oh, we're best friends with Ronda Rousey, which they may be, but it just didn't make sense from a wrestling perspective, but it makes sense from like a PR perspective because obviously you want to advertise, 1, the Bella twins, 2, obviously Ronda Rousey.
Right.
So it made sense, but I wanted to see a little bit more, maybe a little bit of like Total Divas with the Bellas, a little bit of the cast members. That makes more sense, especially going off of like a feud maybe from the reality show. Right. I would have liked that more, but hey, it made sense for advertising perspective.
Same thing. It was like kind of weird seeing Ronda. Well, it was just kind of weird where I think they needed, now after, you know, it's passed and we've seen everything that kind of led up to, I feel like they needed like more time so we can see the development of the relationship. Right. Like maybe in 2 weeks before SummerSlam, like just see them walking around amongst the women, like doing behind the scenes stuff. And then seeing them interact with Natalya and Natalya introducing them to Ron, like, you know, stuff like that, opposed to them in the crowd. And now they just decided that, oh, we're going to go in the ring. Like, we understand you can do that, but it's just kind of like...
It didn't make sense. It didn't connect that great. Yeah. And then we'll see, obviously, in future episodes, they're, like, going back into wrestling and how that plays out.
Oh, like as far as the storyline or just the behind the scenes of that?
Both. And the...
I mean, I'm assuming that... Oh, some people did say last week they only watched this, so...
True.
Well... you're just gonna get spoilers, but I was like,
wait, never mind.
Yeah, I know. Wait. I was like, it's already happened.
We watch wrestling, that's why.
Yeah, it's Monique's hair.
I know.
I don't know. I think they could have done it, but then again, they disappeared. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be something that's gonna be happening for Royal Rumble and or WrestleMania.
I do think they would probably make an appearance for Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is one of those pay-per-views where anyone can come in. Right. And they just fill in seats or fill in the numbers.
And then John's not going to be there.
Yeah. Because he's injured now. Breaking news. So. There you go. So I do think that the Bellas will come back for that. I think the Bellas are at a point right now where in regards to wrestling, they'll come back for main events. Like how John actually does it. Yeah. But they won't be wrestling on a weekly basis.
Oh, highly doubt that.
They can't do that anymore.
Well, it's not even can't. Well... I just think, well, it's how they negotiated their contract. That's and true. Where they are. Because the WWE said, look, we need you to be here every week. Then they would have to make the hard decision like we can or can't do that. And now you're leaving the contract. But I think WWE sees the fact that they're such a big brand that it's just beneficial to taping-wise for Total Bellas and Total Divas. And then it's just... we have this. Why not pair up,
Right.
or partner up, a la Kevin Undergaro?
Yeah.
That's his whole big thing about you being a host or you being a business. If you're gonna partner with somebody, you want to partner up.
Yeah. Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin and Maria.
Thank you for everything.
Facts. So then we have Johnny's daughter Maya. Actually, let's talk about Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, I love that they showed that storyline.
Yeah, that was a nice behind the scenes
Yeah.
that they didn't have to do.
Right.
And I was wondering too why they had Brie. Like, I get why they had Brie on both, but I also didn't get why they had Brie on both. It's like, why is she on both SmackDown and Raw?
Yeah.
It's like they couldn't space
Choose
this out.
one.
Yeah, because you saw her. So I did love the storyline between them all, and I did like the fact that they broke it down from 2010. But then this is what I like about wrestling, because I'm wondering if it's true.
Me too. That's exactly what I was thinking. I wonder if it's really true that once he retired and that whole feud happened, that it was all genuine. Because from the promos that they did for WWE, it seemed genuine and true. It seemed like that's really what they felt about each other, which was not very nice.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like that's Mrs. Actually, it might be because Maurice had that issue with the
feud
Bellas.
with the Bellas. Mm-hmm. And Maurice and the Miz are really good about tag teaming with each other.
Right.
And if one doesn't like someone, then the partner doesn't like that person either.
I like that.
Which is cool.
It's a family
Yeah.
thing. I saw a meme today where it was a father and daughter, and his daughter, who's 4, comes home and says, this little girl said that she didn't like my outfit, so we're no longer friends with this little girl or her family. And the dad in the meme's like, well, I guess now I have a beef with the 4-year-old and her father. This is what we do for family.
Right.
It's really, really cute. So I'm definitely get that. But I wonder how much hate is still there.
I think it's died down a little because you see the Bellas. We saw in Total Divas them rubbing Maurice's belly when she was pregnant and acting like nothing happened. So I'm pretty sure. I don't think the Miz and Daniel Bryan are best friends, but they're
it's more like
mutual
I
with
just
each other
don't. I could
or have
care less.
respect.
Like, hey, what's up?
Which is cool.
It's cool. So we do see Johnny and his daughter making a second appearance. So I wonder if she's gonna be on every episode. Maya.
I think so too because they were promoting her on Instagram and saying that she's officially joining the cast for the season. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna be seeing more of her.
I wonder why that is though.
Well, they're family now. And I guess, she wants to be a model. It's probably a way of, putting herself out there, too.
Well, we do see her. She, like you said, she doesn't want to be a model, but a model. Johnny is hoping that she becomes a wrestler, which is, what the connections are just all there.
Right.
So, but she is only 15. I thought she was a little older than
Me too.
older than that. Not that I thought she looked that, but it just.
She seems mature too.
She seems mature, and just given the fact, it was SummerSlam that we did see her, but she just seemed older. So what do you think of her photo shoot with the Birdie Bee?
Like they said, I think she was a natural. She seemed very comfortable with herself and comfortable with doing that shoot. And also she was with the Bellas, and she calls them her sisters, which they're her stepsisters, but
how long
they seem really
Johnny
close.
and Kathy married for?
I don't know how long they've been together, but they seem pretty close I don't think it's been that long.
Huh.
For them to be that close together.
I guess.
But it makes sense. It's cool to see them mentoring
I wouldn't call
her.
them my sisters though.
TK.
I wouldn't. I still call my mom's boyfriend Mr. So and so.
I think it's just the way they are, their family
and then
dynamic.
she is 15, so I guess.
Yeah.
If they were together for less than 10 years, it's still.
But you've seen
half her
JJ
life.
in the past too, how hesitant he was at first when she was gonna get married, and he wasn't really approving of it because I guess their mom has been in relationships.
Well, I think also too Johnny's still in wrestling,
Right.
so he probably travels a lot. He's probably not home as often, So that schedule, and then you hear about wrestlers who, cheat on their wives. It's just.
And it's a little weird to me when they showed the promo about the Bellas meeting up with him because they were like, oh, hey. I don't know. It was a little too weird for me.
Oh, wait. When they were just going, doing a
promo for WWE.
Oh.
I don't know. It's a little
Oh,
weird
yeah.
to
But do you
me.
remember there was one time where the Bellas had to kiss, was it Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
They both had to kiss him?
No, Nikki kissed him Brie just kissed him on the cheek.
Right.
Which is pretty funny. Look at where they're at now.
Right. So, I mean, I think it's all weird. Now, I remember, if you don't watch Women's Wrestling Weekly, it comes on every Wednesday. I was talking to Shaw Guerrero, and she was talking about her mom, Vicky.
Yeah.
And how she would see her mom do the craziest thing with dudes on WWE, too. So,
I guess as a business, you have to deal with it. Like she said, too.
Yeah.
I mean, her mom would warn her about that, but not to a certain extent of what she was going to do.
Now, do you think they should have consulted with Johnny first before it all went down? Before the photo shoot happened?
I don't think so. I don't think they were in the wrong. I feel like they were just...
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like they were like, okay, he said yes for us to mentor her, so we're going to go ahead and mentor her.
Well, she did also say, jokingly, he's like, oh, well, we can just mentor her. And he's like, no, you have to, like, consult me. And he said that jokingly, too.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, like, that's still his daughter. And then on top of that, she has a mother. So he probably has to answer to her. Because remember when Naomi took the kids. And now John got, like, screamed out by the baby mama because it's like, he didn't prepare her for that. So it's just kind of like, I think you have to take into consideration that Maya has a mom.
Right.
And, she just at least wants to know what's going on.
And because we don't see that, we don't really know. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, it was a little bit, like, they weren't doing anything wrong. But you're right. I see your perspective.
Yeah, because I feel like that with even my friends' kids, like when I want to take pictures and stuff, even my nieces, like I always ask, like, hey, is it okay that I could take a picture? And it's like, by the way, I might be putting this on Instagram.
Yeah.
But like I always ask parents.
Right.
And even people, if I see a cute kid, and they post something on social media, I'll ask the parent if I can, like, swipe the picture.
Yeah.
So it's like, because it's just...
Well, now that you say that, it makes sense also because of their platform. If they're going to use those pictures officially for Birdie Bee, it's going to go everywhere.
And did she get paid?
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure. She has to be getting paid for that and for the show. If she's an official cast member, yeah, definitely. I mean, at 15 I'm pretty sure she makes good money. I would do it too.
I mean,
but it comes with a lot.
But she just took some pictures.
Yeah, but it's still work.
I suppose so. You have a lot of photographers out in LA taking pictures. It's a whole crazy business out here.
True.
So let's go into our shadiest moment. So what our shadiest moment is that when you go through the episode, if this is your first time with us, I know I didn't get to read all the comments from last week. Monique and I, by the way, have a very good relationship, so it's nothing about hate. We're just very shady with each other. So that's the reason why it comes off as such. But we're nothing but amazing friends, nothing but loves. For our shadiest moment, what we do is we go through the episode, we pick out our shadiest moment that we think that could have finessed that a little bit more. Damn! So that's signifies our shadiest moment. So what do you think was the shadiest moment for
me?
today?
It was when JJ and Nikki were at the park and he was like, "You're 35, you better hurry up and get with someone." I felt bad for her, and that's when she was like, "All right, I'm never talking to you again."
Yeah, that was shady.
I mean, your little brother.
Yeah, that was shady.
It's a little mean.
And then the whole throwing the ball into the
tree that looked like
tree vagina.
Yeah.
That was shady. Oh my gosh, I just had my shady moment. I may have forgotten it. Oh, dang it. Oh man, the only one that I can think of is when the doctor was. This is bad, terrible. When he was like, he measured and he's like, there is some droopage. Like, how do you feel about that? And it's like, well, I mean, I don't speak for all women, but I feel like nobody wants droopage.
Well, and if she was there for that specific reason, why would you even ask her how she feels?
Well, she was there for a boob job.
But still,
that
was obviously the problem.
Well, you can't assume anything.
That's true.
Because somebody might come in with perfect boobs according to that doctor. Actually, the doctor that I went to, he's like, I don't even know why you're getting a boob job. Like, why? Because he's like, there's nothing wrong. That's way too much information. He's like, there's nothing wrong. So, like, to the doctor, it might seem like it was a really good doctor, by the way. Like, he could have definitely took my money. But it's just how he said. Like, there's definitely some droopage. Like, how do you feel about that? It's like he could have just said, "There's definitely droopage. Let's discuss." Like, don't.
How do you feel?
Yeah. No, I mean, let me know in the chat how you feel about droopage, but I'm pretty sure that for most women, droopage is
No fun.
no fun at all. So we have a little bit of news.
We do.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, women continue to make history. First, WWE is having their Royal Rumble pay-per-view on Sunday, January 27th, only on the WWE Network, where you may see some surprises, including the Bella Twins come back on the Women's Royal Rumble. Also, WWE continues to create more opportunities for women as the WWE Tag Team titles have been announced, where women could become the first ever Tag Team Championships, in which the Bellas can also be part of this. How do you feel about that?
I don't think they'll be part of it. Well, they might, because the championships is between both brands.
Right.
Which I'm wondering how they're going to do that. Are they going to just pull that out for like major events, maybe major pay-per-views, and then they're going to do something leading up to it, like maybe back talk between other tag teams from other venues? So say, for instance,
NXT.
Naomi, or say for instance, Naomi and Asuka have the championship. I
Yeah.
know Asuka already has a championship, but just hypothetically,
Yeah.
they have a championship and they're on SmackDown, and then we're coming up to WrestleMania, and so a team on like Bailey and Sasha have like they want to bid for the championship. Will they go back and forth doing promos and then lead up to that? Like, I'm really wondering, and I'm sure they already have it all planned out, but I'm really wondering how they're going to
Like switch it off.
schedule it.
Well, I feel like that creates more for an opportunity to create 2 tag team titles.
I don't know if we have. Well, Stephanie did say she eventually wants to have equal men and equal women in the locker room.
Right.
So if that happens, then
That'd be
there's
great.
plenty of women,
Yeah.
female wrestlers. That
Women
can do that.
wrestling. That's what we.
So
fight
I'm here for it. I'm glad that they teased it. I love how they did it. They waited for the holidays because
Yeah.
we've been talking about this for, I don't know, since midsummer, if not more. Actually, when Becky Lynch was on Maria Menounos' TV show podcast Conversations, she talked about, I think that might have been back in spring or something. So
Right.
been talking about it for a while.
And last but not least, more on the Nikki Bella dating rumors. There were rumors saying that she was dating her former Dancing with the Stars pro, Artem, but she has shut down those rumors and says that she consults John Cena after every date and says, "Hey, I'm going out with this guy. What do you think?" I think that's really weird.
That is kind of weird.
She said this to E, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate.
Well, they're probably good friends. But I don't know if enough time has passed.
I wouldn't want to know about my ex who was like my fiance dating someone and how I feel about that.
Well, if they're good friends, like I have people that I've dated that we're good friends and we talk about their relationships and stuff like that.
But how long has it been?
Gosh. Well, it was never obviously a engagement or anything like that, but I think that's when you like John Cena never seemed like the jealous type.
Right.
And there's certain elements that come with, like, you no longer talking to your ex versus you are friends with your ex, but not friends where like you just are in the sack once in a while. It's more like it's a legitimate friendship. Like,
Right.
we were here at one point, but now we're really good friends. We both have moved on, and that was a moment in time. Like, I think it's a different type of mentality that it takes in order to do that. And John Cena in particular seems like that person.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I
understand that.
deeply care for this woman, but I also want the best for her no matter what. Even if it's, the fact that she's broke my heart. However, he seems like the person that just will, because he was in the army, it just seems like, all right, that was done. Now
Next.
we're here, and now I'm filming.
And I feel like he never lost that work mentality where he always put his job first over Nikki, and we know that.
Well, yeah, now he had something to go to.
Right.
Like, so, he's doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know about the injury thing. I really hope he's not injured, but it also could be just storyline. Like, okay, I have to do this, or
Or
this
maybe he
might
has
not
another
work.
movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this might
Yeah.
not work. So they're like, okay, no problem. Well, you did enough of your 2 weeks for the 6 months. So, yeah. I mean,
I don't like that.
I don't know. I'm really eager. I'm the type of person who'll read the back of the book first. Like, if it gets too like too crazy for me. Like if the person might die, it's like I need to know if this person dies. Like I really wish, yeah.
You like to spoil it for yourself?
Oh yeah, spoil it all the way. That's why I don't really like going to movies. Like I'd rather go so I can like watch it on Netflix, so I can just fast forward, and then I'll come back to where I felt like the anxiety, and then I'll watch the movie through.
Because you already know what happens.
Yes. Like I'll still watch it. And I'll still read the book.
Interesting.
But I can't. It's too much.
So do you think that Nikki and John will get back together?
See, here's the thing though. If they get back together and she doesn't freeze her eggs and they finally get on the same page and they want kids and it doesn't happen because she missed that window.
Right.
Like that would suck balls.
Yeah.
So, and it really seemed like John had a few more things to work out, even though he was ready to get married and have kids. It seemed like he had a few more things to work out, and it seemed like Nikki had a lot of things to work out that were beyond John. So, I think she just needs to work those things out before she gets into any type of relationship.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that may just be what's stopping her. I think any relationship that you're in, you have to go back and see what destroyed the relationship, what made the relationship great, all this other stuff, and analyze that, and essentially leave the past in the past, the baggage there, and then move on. Most people don't do that.
Wow, you should give relationship advice. Here you go, TK 101, relationship advice.
I just try to live on a higher plane of life. But yeah, I feel like she needs to do that. If she has done that, she's not showing it on the show.
But I don't think she'll show when she's officially with someone on the show right away.
Well, I mean, just officially ready. It just seems like she's not. She's not ready. She doesn't, because the thing is, if you're, well, we don't. When did they officially break up?
When
was it before SummerSlam?
Yeah, because that's where she saw him.
So that was August, September, October, November, December. So that's 4 months. I think I read a study where it's like however many years you were in the relationship, you do each month. So technically, she should not be in a relationship for at least 6 months.
Yeah. I don't think she should rush it.
I don't think she should rush, but I also think if she really wants kids, well, not even kids, if she really wants a relationship and she really wants to be married and she really wants that type of stuff, then it's not necessarily rushing, but also being open, but preparing yourself to be open for that.
Right.
Opposed to like, I don't even want to deal with any of this and then revert back to what you think single life is.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference from like enjoying single life but still preparing yourself for the relationship, opposed to drowning yourself in single life because you don't want to deal with what happened in the previous relationship.
And I feel like right now she's at that point in her life where she's trying to be single because she wasn't for 6 years.
6 years is not that long though. Hey, and how long do you really need to be like?
But she invested a lot in that relationship.
I'll give you that, but like, if you're in a healthy relationship, you can, other than sleeping with other people, like what else are you doing being single?
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't
single.
I don't understand. Like I was like, you just check in with somebody, which you did with your parents. Not to say that person's with your parents, but even if you're like, anytime a friend leaves my house, I always like text me when you get home. Like, I am just concerned about people who are in my circle because that's just how I am. So it's just like, what else are you doing in your single life other than sleeping with other people?
We'll see. We'll see what Nikki defines as single.
Well, JJ, if you guys watching, holla at your sisters, try to get them on.
Yeah, please. Or you can come on too and promote your new clothing line, right?
Does he have a clothing line?
Yeah.
Oh.
See? He has a clothing line.
You didn't put that in the news.
JJ Bella or Garcia has a clothing line.
There you go. We need to
VK Society. You can find it on Instagram.
I see you didn't even put all that on there. Okay, we'll say it again because they may have missed it.
So the Bella brother has a new clothing line called Vacay Society, and you can find it on his Instagram. But I'm pretty sure it's sold out, but go check it out. And JJ, if you're watching this, come on our show and talk about your new clothing line.
It's sold out already?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Because Lola was promoting it too, his wife.
Oh, I'll hit JJ up. For some reason, I'm not getting all my I'm not seeing everybody's Instagram stuff.
Yeah.
I've been missing out on a few stuff, and I'm on Instagram. Well, not as often. Anywho, predictions for next week.
Well.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Cool.
Have you never heard this before?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
feel like they changed it, or I don't know. Maybe it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Anyways, I'm excited to see Nikki go on this date or couple of dates with Artem, her former pro, to see where these rumors came from and to see if they're really dating or if it's just promo.
Okay.
That's what I'm excited for.
That's it.
And to see what Nikki's doing as a single girl, because there's a lot of things that she's apparently going to do in the next episode.
It just seems like she's going to drink a lot and stay out late.
She's smoking a cigar.
She's smoking a cigar.
So see, that's one of her things that she never did as with John Cena, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw the whole house situation with John and how particular he is,
Yeah.
that type of relationship, it seems like she's going to revert back to the total opposite
Yeah.
of what she was doing with him. And then there lies the problem. So it's not necessarily her fault or John's fault. She just may have chosen the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
Because you can still drink and have a cigar once in a while because, you know, adults, like, you don't need to be doing that every day anyway. Sorry. Once in a while, but it doesn't, like,
Right.
you can still go back home and spice life up. Like, look at John and Trinity.
They live their best life.
They're living their best life.
Their goals.
They are for real. I'm not really so keen about this Artem and Nikki thing. I think I don't know if he's based in, they might have been in LA, but it just
he is.
Yeah, it just seems like that's what you do in LA. Like, I just scheduled 3 lunches. Like, that's,
Wow.
yeah, that was my goal. The end of the year, I was trying to book lunches with people that I've been promising to book lunches with.
Yeah.
And then this year, the ones I didn't get to them at the beginning of the
Hey,
year.
you still owe me my birthday lunch from October.
Well, we can do that.
There, another. Before
go.
2019 ends.
Before 2019 ends.
All right.
Before your next birthday comes.
Seriously.
But yeah, that's what you do in LA, especially
Right.
especially if you're in the industry. It's really about maintaining the connections that you have, not in a malicious way, but you know, the people that you care about and that you want to hang out with, you have to schedule time because everybody's busy and people tend not to work 9 to 5s, and you figure it out.
Right.
So.
And I watch Dancing with the Stars, and I know they keep a very personal relationship with their pros and their stars, so it makes sense.
When you put in that much time
Yeah.
and you have a good relationship, then, you know, you build that
Right.
friendship. So I don't think it's a relationship. I just think it's more of a checking in.
Yeah.
And I think she officially had moved to LA, so now she's looking for, like, LA friends who can, like, that she can connect with. That are not the marriage in the relationship, all this
Right.
other stuff. So
I agree.
yeah, so I'm looking at that, and I don't know. I mean, I do like this season because it's not like the whole John Cena thing and the relationship. It's just kind of going with the flow.
Right.
So I'm about that life.
And we don't know what we're going to get because there's a lot of questions that we have, and
Yeah,
we answer them.
I mean, the wrestling part, we're going to see it going up to,
Right.
I'm guessing, Evolution. But other than that, you know, the whole personal life stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely down for that.
Same.
Where can people find you, Miss Leslie?
All right. You guys can find me at _Leslie Cologne, and then check out the wrestling page that we have at WPW Weekly.
And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad. Doing Women's Wrestling Weekly tomorrow. We have Selena Majors from WOW is going to be on. I don't know. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Just follow me on everything at TK Trinidad because I clearly can't remember.
She's a busy woman.
Yeah, it's that life. We will see you next week. So every Monday at 6 p.m. Till next week, guys. Ciao.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.